Live for the fifth and final T20I of what has been a massive summer of cricket in India. Started with the ODI and T20I series against Sri Lanka. The first T20I was Mumbai in January of 2023. Then we had India-New Zealand, 3 ODIs and 3 T20Is. 3 ODIs against Australia. Then the IPL, World Test Championship, and then you had India-Australia again, ODIs, World Cup, and finally your last international game of the home summer in India. It's ending. However, we do come back after 1 month and 1 week
to Bangalore
for the India-Afghanistan series. January 2024.
It's not really an end to the home season as much as it is an interlude, because again you have the tour to South Africa, but then after that you're only playing home series, Afghanistan, then after that you have a 5-test series against England, and after that it's the IPL season all over again.
Yes, and let me tell you, like what we had expected and I had prayed that we would not happen, it's raining in Bengaluru. The covers are on, the pitch has been covered, and a bigger one and a couple on the outfield. It's typical Bengaluru weather. I had asked my brother-in-law who's come from Bengaluru, like, what is the situation? Please let it not rain. He said, yeah, it's like now I've stopped even looking at the weather, because when you think it rains, it doesn't rain. When you hope it doesn't rain, it rains. So that is why now it is raining at this moment in Bengaluru, and whether the toss will happen on time, it's a slight drizzle.
A slight drizzle, yeah, that's what I was saying. Talk about making matters worse, a dead rubber, which could in fact turn out to be an endless one.
Rain affected.
Rain affected, but then remember, you will have to, unlike all the other bilateral series which has got importance, with the importance, quote unquote, attached to this, you may have to start losing overs maybe by 7:30 p.m. Maybe that is the starting point of where you...
7:30? I thought you get an hour's grace before you start losing overs.
6:30 toss.
Oh, 6:30 toss, right.
So 6:30, 7:30, and then you'll start losing 8 minutes an over because both innings. So let's see how it goes. There I can see one patch covered near the third man fence. The other is there towards the deep square leg and deep mid wicket fence. The other, the pitch is covered. I think there will be one more towards the long on or long off region also. So
see, the one good news is that this is Bangalore. Assuming the rain stops, you should be good to go relatively quickly.
20 minutes. Yeah, you should be. Although I think this is previous visuals. I don't think these are the live visuals.
No. What they're showing right now is definitely
deferred.
Yeah. But man, oh man, I just described like how long we have had our Indian summer. I mean, I don't know whether it was this long in 2019, whether it was this long in 2018 or 2017. I remember 2016 was a big one. 2016-17. Started in October, ended in June, because October you had India-New Zealand, then you had India-England, you had India-Bangladesh, India-Australia, you won all the series, and then you got the IPL. That was why I think 2016-17 was a big summer when you look at it now. Here, January to December. Ooh.
You've been playing games at home, and in between all of that, you also had a month and a half long World Cup.
Yeah. October 5 to November
48
19th.
games.
48 games. And now this is the last of the 4 T20Is you're going to play in 2023. 3 you're going to play in South Africa, 10th, 12th and 14th. 17th, 19th and 21st is your ODIs. I just don't understand why they would want to schedule an ODI. Why couldn't they play 5 T20Is?
Or play a third test.
Yeah, 5 T20Is and 3 tests. Why not? But again, I think, see, the reason why they couldn't have done South Africa, my understanding is, after 7th of January, you are going to have the SA20. SA20 from Jan to Feb. So they don't want anything clashing in that period. And India will not be able to come there in March, because obviously the IPL and all the preparations will happen, and plus they are playing 5 tests. So they can't come to South Africa in March also. On the other hand, they could have played 2 more T20Is, 16th and 18th. maybe had a test match from no, but then again, make it 3 T20Is and make it 3 tests.
Exactly.
You could have played from 18th to 22. You could have played from 26th to 30th and 3rd to 7th. Why have 3 ODIs when ODIs are not going to be relevant until August, September for us? That is something which I will not understand at this point in time. So, I think by all estimates, the toss might be delayed.
Yeah, 100%. At this point, it seems very unlikely that it's not going to be delayed. You can see the covers are still very much.
Although I think it's only a light covering of the pitch. See, there is, I think, not much of a big cover that is
Actually, I think they're
I think are the
peeling
covers
it
coming off?
Because I think I can see the main strip.
Oh, yes, the covers are coming off. So it was.
Perhaps what that means is that you may have toss take place as per schedule. Because you're just about 5 minutes away from toss, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
Just about 5 minutes away from toss.
Anyway,
to
today has been a very action-packed day because there has been the assembly elections for 4 states. Tomorrow is the 5th state. But anyway, whether there are elections, whether there are general elections, cricket, sports will continue to go on and on and on. So, 5th T20I, India luckily managed to win by 20 runs in Raipur with all the electricity issues that was there. But now, 5th T20I, would you... The main question, okay, we will touch upon it in a big
By
way.
the way, Bangalore, the only venue to get World Cup games as well as a game this series as well, because all the other venues that you played at didn't have
Thiruvananthapuram,
Guwahati and Thiruvananthapuram
World Cup
hosted warm-up games.
Yeah,
Guwahati, in fact, you couldn't have it only because
Neither
the
Thiruvananthapuram.
Indian match got washed out. I remember the India-England.
even Thiruvananthapuram. India-Netherlands, the game got washed out. So that's why... Yeah, Bangalore, I mean, you started the season in Mumbai, you're ending it in Bengaluru. So, in that, you have travelled about 40 to 50,000 kilometers. That's how far the distances are. So, yes, as far as changes are concerned, in the previous game, you had seen 4 changes. Are you going to see any further changes in the Indian cricket team today?
1000%. I think the likes of, I think Dubey hasn't played a game yet. Washington Sundar hasn't played a game yet. 100% you are going to be looking at.
In fact,
So,
they were
rests and Washi comes in?
They were spotted practicing as well. The 2 gents that you just
Oh,
mentioned.
very interesting.
They were seen practicing as well. So you expect 2 changes definitely on the cards. What I also suspect is from as far as the playing 11 is concerned, Ishan Kishan I think will continue to be out only, as was the case in the previous T20I.
Okay, out of this entire squad, how many people are there in South Africa?
A good chunk of them are there for the T20s.
Yeah.
See, Rituraj is there, Yashasvi is there, Suryakumar is there, Arshdeep is there,
Yeah.
Kuldeep is included in the T20.
But they've taken a very big squad for T20s. It's not a 15-man squad. They've taken about
18.
17, 18 players. So,
I think 18.
18.
yeah, because they've taken backups for all spinners, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think it could be a make or break series for Arshdeep Singh because he's not doing much. So, same with Prasidh Krishna, I would say. You really need some big performances from these two. Otherwise, it's a straight walk-in / swap, whatever you want to say. You're not thinking beyond, let's say, and perhaps their poor performances means that Mohammad Shami continues to stay relevant in the T20.
I think he will.
Having said that, what reports do suggest, and that's a story that we've done on Sports Day, do check that out, that he's perhaps not there in the white ball scheme of things. His inclusion hinges only and only how he performs in the IPL. That's something that's been decided as of now. Now, if these 2 gentlemen continue to bowl the way that they bowled, which has been up and down, shades of inconsistency, and the times that especially Prasidh's been expensive, he's been very expensive.
That's the problem.
So,
See,
that will just open up the gates for somebody like a Shami especially. Let's not forget, he's a purple cap winner from last year. He's the World Cup leading wicket taker. So, once his ankle is fixed,
Yeah.
Lala walks in.
Is Lala going to be fit for the test series? Is it also, or is it race against time for him?
We don't know as far as it, but what we do know is that he is in Mumbai. He did consult a few experts over there. He met with an orthopedic if I'm not wrong, and he's got a couple of other consultations as well. Friday is when he reached Mumbai. He was spotted at the airport for this particular reason. No real idea as far as the recovery. I think he's still, just weighing his options as to what sort of recovery or rehab to go with.
Was he playing with that injury in the World Cup? Or is it just come up after the World Cup?
I believe towards the end, I think.
100%. There's no way. I mean, just after the World Cup, you pick up an injury? No. I think he would have been feeling a little bit of pain, played through it because obviously he knew he was guaranteed to be playing, all the games now that there was no scope of fitting in an all-rounder. So I think he knew he was playing. He played through it much like he did in 2015. Played through the pain in the World Cup with that knee problem, then went and got it consulted. I think, look, if it's down to IPL inclusion, then I can give it to you in writing that Shami is in the scheme of things.
Yes.
He's done well in the past 2-3 IPLs, if not more, because I think with Gujarat Titans, he's got a very set role, one that he fulfills brilliantly. So I think he'll be in the scheme of things. Don't forget, Bumrah is not in the squad for the white ball leg of things because he's being rested because he's focusing on the tests. So again, he's another one who pretty much walks in. Siraj is there already. So if you have a Siraj, Shami, Bumrah, and you'll have all-rounders back, assuming in someone like a Hardik Pandya. At best, you're fighting for one spot. So if I'm a Mukesh Kumar, if I'm a Prasidh Krishna, if I'm Arshdeep Singh, I know full well I'm competing for one spot. One spot.
And the worst part
right
is...
now,
the toss is happening on.
I think it is Mukesh Kumar who has a slender lead.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, he does. Because again, with Prasidh, we know what he's capable of, but... He's just been too expensive.
The problem is, if your current crop of bowlers, if they're given a decentish run, say of 7-8 games, and they don't do well, then you will have to fall back on Bumrah and Shami.
No, you are. See, Bumrah Shami is not a fallback. You're going there. Bumrah Shami cannot be put in the same category as Rohit, KL and Virat. Rohit, KL and Virat, we know, have been told, listen, young team batting. Our bowling was never the issue. Even in 2022, the bowling was for the most part fine. The only problem area was that you were playing an off spinner instead of a wrist spinner, if you think about it, and that you had someone like a Bhuvneshwar who was very much on his last legs as far as international cricket was. That was the other problem. Otherwise, you had a Shami even back then. Your big miss at that point was no Bumrah.
Yeah.
You didn't have a Bumrah. So now you have Bumrah back. He's there. Shami, I know he was there in the ODI squad as well. It's not like he was ostracized. He was just not playing the first few games because they were going for different combinations, which is fair. But I think as long as he's fit, I think he'll play. Same with Siraj now, who's already quietly established himself as an all-format bowler.
Yep. So that is why I think, look, you will have to rely on all those three for one more ICC event.
At least.
See, Shami we know is a World Cup to World Cup bowler.
He barely if ever plays bilateral white ball cricket.
IPL, as you said, it has always been the case. He has a good IPL, he will automatically eyes closed slot back in. Mohammad Shami. Because you will need someone of his utility to do well in the West Indies. And Bumrah, obviously, he's also a shoo-in along with Mohammad Siraj. Now, what will be the composition? I've said with India, composition is the key. In the last 2 World Cups, you've gotten your composition horribly wrong. 2021 and 2022. So, that is the way how I look at it. If the bowlers here don't do well, they have no right to stake up a place in the team then.
Then it's 3 bowlers competing for one spot, mostly on the bench. Simple as.
And again, Matthew Wade's won the toss and he may want to bowl. Because
he's chosen to bowl. It's Bangalore.
And also because of rain. DLS suggested targets. So that's why, Australia have won the toss and they have chosen to bowl.
I know we're on mute, but I read his lips. He said we're going to have a bowl first.
So let's see what are the changes that even Australia makes. Maybe they'll go the same team.
By the way, in the backdrop, you could see Washington Sundar bowling his off spin. So I think he's playing.
Actually, looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah.
Because last time I think we also was against Ireland. I think he was there.
He was there in Ireland. Yeah.
Ireland, I think you did see him, correct me if I'm wrong, in the Asian Games.
Sundar.
Was he injured?
No, he came for the Asia Cup final. But then he couldn't play because he was there in the final.
Yeah.
Then bat didn't bowl. The
he
team
didn't
got
need to.
bundled out for 50.
He didn't need to.
Yeah, so that's why he was training at the NCA when they felt that okay, maybe he can. But then I think he did go again after that for the Asian Games, if I'm not mistaken. So
he did go.
He did.
So one change by the way for Australia, and it's one that should be of no surprise. Chris Green, the off-spinning all-rounder,
is out.
goes out, and in comes Nathan Ellis. I mean, off spinner in Chinnaswamy, you're asking for trouble no matter how many T20s you may have played around the world.
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense. Ellis is a bit of a street smart operator. The cutters might be a handful. And if you actually look at, let's say, Matthew Wade's comment, he's saying the wicket looks quote unquote a bit tacky. Very interesting.
Tacky. I mean, see, this is almost the end of this. I mean, there is no fixed international calendar that we have in India. It happens all year long. I mean, see, for Australia, clear cut, October to March.
Yeah, it's a summer sport for them.
Or
winter
New
sport.
Zealand also, October to March. England is from May to September. That's it. But September also if you're pushing it. South Africa also, technically from December to March. That's about it. India, if you have to look at it every single time from January to December, it's all year cricket.
Perennial sport, no?
Perennial sport. Monsoons also. I mean, we all thought that in the past, maybe June to September it's not possible because monsoon in India.
No, so
they can host.
That's the thing with the mass land that you have over here.
And not just that, if they feel monsoon is a problem, they'll have series outside. Away series.
Yeah.
Why do you think you go to West Indies so often at that point in time?
Just mostly, I'd say in the month of December, Jan, I think are just those two quiet months in India.
Yeah,
Where
Are you sure about December, Jan? I don't think so.
December you've got 2 tests. December, Jan you've got 2 tests against South Africa.
I'm saying comparatively, otherwise.
This time no.
I beg to disagree on having a quiet December.
Because you've got a full tour of South Africa, which then spills over to January and Afghanistan
I'm
also.
saying in India.
In India.
In India.
There is a
in
change
India.
even in the Indian team. Arshdeep comes in for Deepak Chahar because Deepak Chahar has flown home because of a medical emergency.
It better not be concerning him, perhaps to the family.
No, I think it may be a family thing.
Yeah, because if he had a medical emergency, they said he had a niggle or something.
Niggle or something.
I think there is something back home. We hope everything is all right with Deepak Chahar at this point. So
we wish him
all the
good luck with
all the luck, and our thoughts are with Deepak Chahar because he's flown home because of medical emergency.
Just hope it's not an injury for him.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you want.
So only one change.
It's a no Shivam Dubey and no Washington Sundar.
I think there is no Washington Sundar.
That's again, we're speaking of off spinners not being relevant here, but again, you want to take your chances. The series is yours. Give the man,
They put up the 11. There's no.
Okay.
So there's Yashashree, there's Rutu, the same two.
Shreyas Iyer is back.
Shreyas Iyer is back even in
He played the last game.
Yeah.
8 of 7.
My bad.
Yeah.
Surya Kumar Yadav, Rinku Singh, Jitesh Sharma, Aksar Patel, Ravi Bishnoi. Okay. So only one change. Arshdeep, Avesh, Mukesh.
I'd say it's an opportunity loss. Like, come on,
You could have thrown in the
You're not doing this in South Africa. There you want to go win the series. Here the series is already yours. Why not make the change and give some game time to somebody like a Washington Sundar who's all but just travelled with the team?
And Dubey. I mean, you want to. We always talk about it. I'm no fan of Dubey's bowling, but in a dead rubber, you can give him 2 overs. You can give Washington. Washington is generally speaking a power play bowler. Give him 2 overs in the power play.
And remember, off spinner, who is he bowling to? Travis Head. And then if you have to look at it, he can actually keep him quiet with his off spin. Maybe. But again, so these are the only 2 players who have not played in the entire series.
Yeah.
Can we check the squad?
Yeah. It's
I'm pretty sure these would be only
Dubey and
these two.
Washington Sundar.
It's just these two.
Yeah, that's a bad thing here. So, okay, it's
probably
down.
there it is.
Yeah,
So Tilak, Arshdeep, of course, Washington, Prasid's played, Ishan, Mukesh we saw play, Avesh, Deepak, Bishnoi continues to play. Yeah,
Tilak also played
these two.
Just these two. I mean, imagine they are like Lungi Ngidi and Vicky Ostwal of Delhi Capitals. Those out of 25, 23 got a chance.
Yeah.
Only those 2 didn't get an IPL.
Wait, he didn't play a game.
Ngidi didn't play a game last year.
These two didn't.
Exactly.
So
Vicky Ostwal and Lungi Ngidi. That's the thing.
Okay.
So that's why. Now the thing is, I mean, Shivam Dubey and
Very interesting.
missed opportunity, I would say.
Yeah, it is. I don't think it's a no-brainer.
Especially for Washington Sundar. Because Sundar has been in the periphery of all the things in the past couple of years. Remember, injury only pulled him back. But he was in the periphery. Now, he's going to South Africa, right? Only Aksar isn't heading to South Africa.
Yeah, Akshar is, I think, going with he's going with one squad. Yeah, ODIs he's there. Because I remember his name cropping up somewhere. So,
got to check. I'll just check. You guys can carry on. Until then, I'll just check.
What do you want to check?
The
No, Akshay I think is there in the
squad.
T20I squad. I think he's there
For
in
the
T20I.
tour to
Akshay.
South Africa.
No, Akshay is not. Jadeja is there. He's there
Akshay
for
is
the
not.
ODIs.
Akshay is playing ODIs. He's not there in T20Is.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because for the T20I,
No mind,
Jadeja is there.
no mind crossing, but if my memory serves me right, Akshay is not there in T20.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's what I'm checking. Yes. So, okay. Okay, now I have to check way down at this point. So.
No, I think Jadeja is there for the T20Is and he's even the vice captain. So, you're right.
Surya leading.
Yes, Surya is the
Surya
captain.
leading, yeah.
Jadeja is the vice captain. And yes, Akshay is only playing the ODIs. He's not even there for the tests. So,
He and Yuzi Chahal and Sanju Samson.
Poor
Consider
guys.
it door shut for them. Because as usual, Sanju Samson, T20 World Cup year, he plays ODIs. When it's an ODI World Cup year, he plays T20s. What wrong did Sanju Vishwanath Samson do? That'll be the biggest mystery. Chahal didn't even play in 2 World Cups, which he should have. And he's not been
Look at Chahal, na? Chahal's also there in ODIs, he's not there in T20Is.
game over for them in as far as T20 prospects are concerned.
yeah, I mean, see, they seem to be trying to give Ravi Bishnoi a longer rope. And I think the first choice wrist spinner is going to be Kuldeep. So,
Yeah.
Yep. Kuldeep, Bishnoi could be the backup.
yeah, Bishnoi will be the backup. He has to be. But even then, is Bishnoi going to make the cut for a 15? I doubt. Because they always look to have that third spinning option be someone who can bat a bit.
And that'll be Sundar then.
Sundar.
Could be Akshar. You don't know.
But Akshay T20Is, no, you're not looking at him because he's not there.
No, but he's also being workload managed. Otherwise, he's playing this
know.
T20I series.
Workload manage when you're T20 World Cup, and you won't workload manage him in the IPL, but you'll workload manage him for the bilaterals.
No, I don't know the logic behind it either. I agree. But I think for T20Is, maybe if they have their way, then Washington I would personally like to see because he gives you variety.
He does.
Yes, left-hand batter, lower down the order, but also as an off spinner as compared to another left-arm orthodox.
SRH, right? Washington Sundar.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he was retained. He wasn't dumped out and
No.
put in the pool.
It
Okay.
would have been a big news if he was, trust me.
I think he needs a new franchisee, honestly speaking, because I think SRH have not handled him well.
You can replace Washington Sundar with pretty much any player there, and that would be correct.
Exactly. They have gone the Punjab Kings way. Throw down, tear apart the entire master plan, and then start rebuilding from scratch.
I wouldn't call it the Punjab Kings way. I think both Punjab and SRH have pioneered this. Really, when it comes down to it, it's
No,
not
I
a
would say
coincidence.
until Williamson and David Warner were there, they didn't do this.
No.
After that, they have done it.
But even with Williamson and David Warner, they might have kept those two around. But the cast around them was constantly evolving.
yeah.
So if it's no coincidence, you go back, if you pull out the data, if you go over every one of the mini auctions over the past 5-6 years, it's always been these two teams with the biggest purses.
Yeah.
This time around,
See,
you've
the
seen-
only other guys besides the ones that Shane named, I think Rashid was the other guy who was around and part of the core group. Umran towards the end, last couple of years. But besides that, it's just been musical chairs.
But then, look at what's happened. I mean, even Irfan Pathan tweeted about it. Where is Umran Malik? Is he there in the India A tour also? No. He's not even been considered for an India A tour in conditions which might help him.
they definitely will help him. But
Where is he? Suddenly considered your ultimate speed merchant. Now he's gone.
I think the poor IPL, number one. Ireland he played, got tonked.
again,
I think those are the factors going massively against him. He played Ireland last year as well, if I'm not wrong.
I think
played-
I think you have to blame Nitish Rana for it.
what did he do? Oh, he hammered him in that IPL game, yeah.
20 plus runs, if I'm not mistaken, after that Umran Malik over. And that's why.
Umran Malik was just, let's say, the Haris Rauf of IPL back then.
In 2022 he was. In 2023 he definitely wasn't.
No, I think you got it wrong. I think 2023 became Haris.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Haris Rauf in T20 cricket. Haris Rauf in T20 cricket is at least gets you wickets. But I'm saying in 2022 he was phenomenal. He was so good that he was setting up the likes of Shreyas Iyer. Lest we forget. And
That was, I think, the best you saw of Umran.
And then in
That wicket of-
2023, it was another KKR captain who ironically I think put the kibosh in his career. And by the way, Nitish Rana, who also himself has a bit of a susceptibility to the short ball.
Short ball.
So I don't understand. I think it just goes to show you how quickly his fortunes have gone.
Yeah.
That Nitish Rana pretty much put the kibosh. I don't think he played a game after that.
No, he didn't play it.
Maybe
But this just tells you, and it's weird that we here in India don't or have, I don't know how, given the rarity of a genuine express bowler that we have here, how we managed to move past him so quickly, and we continue to stick with, let's say, somebody, like a Shardul, like Avesh and Prasidh, none of these are X-factor bowlers, let's say.
The way by Shardul, I don't think they consider in T20Is. He's an ODI test bowler at best.
I'm just saying, not just from T20 perspective, I'm just saying holistically, let's say.
See, but holistically, I get your point.
He deserved, my point being that he deserved a bit more, Umran, in terms of backing, in terms of us being, just being able to see him more often.
At least chuck him on the 8 tours.
Somewhere. Something. And how can, we just give up on him? How can how can people at the NCA, how can the selectors not ensure that he's getting some sort of counselling, he was in touch with Irfan Pathan, I remember, in between. Irfan, of course, was the one who scouted him to begin with.
Actually, no, the guy who scouted him was Abdul Samad.
Abdul Samad, yes. But Irfan was then the coach.
He was the mentor in J&K.
Yes, exactly.
2-3 years. Yeah, so that's
but
that's the thing.
It's a mystery.
Mystery indeed. I mean, there are a lot of guys. I mean, you can say, what wrong did Karun Nair do after scoring a triple century? He didn't play much after that. What wrong did Sanju Samson do? Because he has been the ultimate victim of your revolving door. Okay? He wants a reservation in a particular category. You say, for example, I want a second AC ticket. But he always gets shunted to third AC.
Harbhajan Singh the other day said, when Yuzi was named in the ODI series and not in the T20Is, Harbhajan Singh said that he's been given a lollipop to suck on. I think Sanju Samson has been sucking onto the same lollipop for about a couple of years now.
No, I think Sanju Samson's been given multiple lollipops at this point.
He doesn't know which flavor suits him now. Which flavor suits him? Because see, you gave him a message in ODIs.
He was told to be the finisher once. Finisher!
It is right up there with Kuldeep Yadav as our number 1 bowler in 2019.
In tests. Overseas.
In many ways, some of the things that we've heard from the Indian cricketers, it's baffling how, we were all made to believe that this is Hardik Pandya's team. Hardik Pandya was all but told that, okay, this is your thing. You are our captain, and now, cut to, a time where you're just about 6 months away from the T20 World Cup, you're looking at reports where Rohit Sharma has been told, listen, it is your team.
I'll again go back to that point I made the other day. What is this convincing? Rohit Sharma is being convinced to lead the team, Arey? Come on, man. I mean, either you stick with what you have, don't flip-flop this much.
Look, your BCCI press release was a sham. I'll tell you why. You remember
Dravid? South Africa tour.
Dravid, when he got that contract extension.
Yeah.
Dravid, they didn't even name your support staff also. They said, batting coach, this guy, top, got an extension. Arey, name them.
Not just that, what's the period?
And Dravid, after he came, he says, I haven't signed anything yet. Once I signed.
No, that was, I think, lost in translation.
But it was definitely not a good look.
I think it was Nikhil who pointed out, perhaps it was lost in translation because maybe the question to him was, for how long? What's the tenure? Then he said, maybe to that, perhaps he said that, no, I've not signed anything, or I've not. So maybe it was lost in translation.
See, the tenure now that we are hearing is 6 months, right?
Reportedly, that is still the T20
T20 World Cup. But in the first place, again, we don't know, like most things.
It was 7-month extension.
Yeah, effectively 7.
If suppose the main reasons that was given for Dravid's supposed extension, okay, he's put in a structure in place for 2 years, okay? There should be no disruption in that structure, okay? Now, if there has to be no disruption in that structure, ideally, you would want to keep him until the 2025 WTC final, if India make it. Or Champions Trophy.
Exactly.
Champions Trophy is February 2025. But now, you're like, na ghar ka, na ghat ka. That's the situation. Because, what is it? Until the World T20 of June. What next after that? Then you are leaving your ODI preparation in a limbo.
And not just that.
No head coach.
Not just that. You're talking about that 7 months, or 7 months is actually even a bit misleading because there's 8 months now left.
Actually, 3 months.
But exactly, you've got 2 months of which is IPL.
So that's right.
Only 3 months.
Effectively 3.
Because you got now December, you got January, February. And then
IPL.
March you start the IPL, March, April, May.
And this time you're looking at an early start to the IPL, not the fag end. Because from 74 you're looking at 90 games. And clearly you cannot push it beyond the month of May, which is, by the way, you have the final also around the 27th, 28th of May mostly. 8 days, 9 days, we've seen this happen before. It was the World Test Championship final that you played in a span of 8 days time after IPL getting over 9 days.
At least this time there will be no format mixing.
This time around, again, more games, more fatigue, and you got the World T20 then coming up inside 1 week. Because again, you cannot, even if you were to start early, there's only so much you can do, because remember, to make things complicated, there'll be the general elections as well.
Exactly. So that's why when your IPL ends, again, you're only going to have about a week to travel. That's the only gap that you've got. Okay, you played 90 IPL games potentially. We don't know. We'll get the exact figures maybe once.
That's what's being reported right now.
It's been reported, but we'll get the exact figures, because remember, we all knew that the IPL auction is going to be held on the 19th in Dubai. But still they decided, okay, we'll release a grand video spectacle, and it was a gif of bloody 10 seconds. That's how they are taking us all for granted. And remember, every single time that an IPL has come close to a world event, you have failed spectacularly. Happened in 2010, happened in the 2023 WTC final, happened even in 2021.
You know why? Because in our game, there's one thing that speaks louder and much better than even the bat.
I mean, I'll go further. 2009 T20 World Cup, you're defending champions. You ended up putting in a lousy performance. Why? Because it happened right after the IPL. 2010, you're talking about. I'll go back to 2016. The World T20.
No, but then the World T20 happened before the IPL.
Exactly, skewed priorities. No, IPL is the bigger priority.
Yeah, and 16. Remember, that was the Virat Kohli year. 973 runs happened in that year, 2016. And
16, yeah.
And in the World T20, he averaged in T20s. In fact, he averaged over 100.
But again,
with a strike rate of 150.
That T20I team was pretty bang average, because again, the way they exited also was with a whimper. And in fact, and in fact, to make things worse, you very nearly exited in the group stages again.
Yeah.
Because had it not been for Bangladesh's wonderful bottle job at the end.
And Kohli's 82, Mohali.
Mohali is still fine. I'm talking about you to reach Mohali, you have to reach this thing
at the same venue.
Exactly. So
there was all just premature excitement from Mehmadullah and Mushfiqur Rahim.
No, Mushfiqur Rahim, not
he started celebrating.
Mehmadullah also loosener, yaar. What shot was that?
But he didn't celebrate.
That Mushfiqur though after that.
Okay, Mushfiqur
didn't even. You know, he didn't even nail that scoop that he was trying.
Exactly.
He almost did what, Avesh Khan did in that match between Lucknow and Bangalore.
There was no scoop in that.
Yeah.
Mushfiqur slogged to deep mid-wicket. The catch was taken. Mehmadullah got a full toss. He slogged into mid-wicket.
I'm saying the boundary that he hit when he started to celebrate.
Yeah.
It was an attempted scoop.
Yeah. He got it off the glove. Dhoni didn't get it properly, and 2 of 3 with 3 wickets. How do you lose it? Ask Bangladesh.
So again, that match, because they had lost to New Zealand in the group stage.
Yes.
If you lost to Bangladesh, you were done.
You're done.
Simple.
You're done.
Because it was a four team group. So again, it just for years now you've seen this has been coming, and when an IPL happens, always a bit dicey dodgy, because you're coming in with fatigue. Yeah? I mean, look at the number of players. There'll be at least some Indian players who will make it all the way to the final.
Yep.
Some first choice Indian players.
Again, you'll go in batches. You'll go in batches to the West Indies. That'll have to happen. Because travelling to the West Indies will take you 2 days.
As it is, travelling to the West Indies is a thankless task, because you're practically changing time zones.
And this time you'll have to play in an unknown. The US, what kind of pitches will happen there? We don't know.
One of the pitches
drop in.
No, one of them actually not. What's the term?
No, not drop in. It's a temporary. I'm forgetting the term for it. It's like a.
You did a video on that.
Yeah, I remember doing a video on it. It's basically like.
But the one in Lauderhill is a drop in.
Lauderhill is the only one. No, it's not a drop in.
I think it's a drop in.
No, drop in.
It's a Central Boral. It's a proper cricket stadium.
You should cross check.
Pop-up stadium is the term.
Pop-up stadium.
And that is in, I think,
New York.
Yeah, New York, one of the islands. Over there, it's similar to Stadium 974 in Qatar. Which was basically
that was Lusail, right?
No.
No, it wasn't
Lusail. Was like a grand.
Lusail is a proper stadium. Stadium 974. Or to be fair, most of them were in the same area.
Out of those ship containers.
Yes. So there were 2 reasons it was called 974, right?
Because there are 974 of the
ship containers, but also 974 is the international code of
Qatar. For Qatar.
Yes.
The country code.
The country code on the phone is 974. So because of that, it was called that, and it was dismantled afterwards because it was only built for that purpose. So they've done the same thing, similar thing, which will be happening there. No one knows what the hell kind of pitch you're going to get in.
I think, in fact, once when Turkey, I think, saw those earthquakes take place, some of those containers were in fact then sent across to Turkey for to provide shelter to those who were dislocated.
Interesting.
Wow. So I think, because what is a drop-in wicket used for? If that same stadium is used for multi-sport events.
Yeah.
But I think Central Boral and Lauderhill, I think, doesn't host all the games.
Anyway, let's quickly have a look at some of the questions. We're just about 5-7 minutes away, I think, from the first ball.
From the first ball, sorry. Toss is done.
So, supers, do we have any?
I think we don't have a supers. Come on, yaar, it's a Sunday, I know, but still. Okay, Ashish Ranjan. Shivam Dube should have given a chance today as we need a powerful hitter at number 6 in T20 World Cup. But why would you want to give Shivam a chance? If you want a powerful number 6 hitter, Rinku is there.
Rinku is doing the job just fine. And also, I'm sorry, with Dube, my big doubt always remains how he tackles pace bowling.
Yeah.
He will murder spinners for fun. Pace bowling, he tends to be a little sus. In that sense, Rinku is proved better in that regard because he tends to take on, I don't think he's bowler specific. Plus, I mean, if he's having the kind of run he has, why drop him?
Yeah.
Why would you think of dropping him? Let's see. We seem to be having some very big repeat questions. Just scroll up slightly.
What is Thapliyal saying?
This is always the case.
What is Thapliyal saying?
Yeah. If Pujara, that's what his outlandish theory is. If Pujara had been there in place of KL Rahul in the World Cup final, he would have played a better innings, as Pujara possesses better game awareness and more hunger.
I mean, that's a bit much. When is the last time Pujara played a white ball game for India?
About a decade ago.
Exactly. Never mind, man. That's not
And
happening.
I'm sorry, I mean,
I think
would
he's
he have
just
kept
getting carried away with those 70 odd quickfire runs that he got in England, that too in the county.
I'm only saying that if could Pujara have kept wickets, the way how KL Rahul kept.
And nothing against KL, yaar, he rescued you on a good couple of occasions.
But yeah, in that final, he was really found wanting.
But then even Virat was found wanting a bit, no?
But Virat fell at a crucial, his strike rate was an issue, but with KL, issue of strike rate, 66 of 106.
It's just tough conditions.
Harry Tector, thanks for joining us, asking, do you think that Ravi Bishnoi can survive only bowling googlies? His leggies don't turn for some reason. I agree. I think he's recently fallen back to that problem where his googly is a stock ball, but he's been getting wickets.
He's been getting wickets.
Actually, in the power play, he's taken 6 wickets, I think, in the power play in the 4 matches that he's played.
And also, if you're talking about bowlers who survive of being googly specialists, Piyush Chawla also had a leg break that barely turned.
Yeah.
Anil Kumble,
Of course.
massive. Jumbo was a legend, but he had 3 balls. He had a straightener, he had a flipper, and he had a dusra. And even his off his wrong one.
Later on, he added the top spinner, but that was much later.
Exactly.
But mostly the flipper.
His flipper was his biggest.
Yeah.
No, but then what happened with Kumble was that he was accurate at pace. You remember Graham Swan, fast off spinners, which were accurate. Same with Kumble. Accuracy was next level.
No, my point was just that he was never a big turner of the ball. He made his career on consistency.
Yep.
On consistency. In fact, I remember there's some series, there was one England series in particular in the 90s where I think everything wrong that could happen to the English team happened. I'm forgetting which series it was.
1996, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was one where they had to travel by train or something because there was an Air India strike. I'm forgetting which series it was.
Maybe 1993.
Yeah, may have been that. So there was one batter from the team, I'm forgetting who was consistently deceived by, of all things, only Anil Kumble's flipper.
Maybe Robin Smith, if I'm not mistaken. Robin Smith.
Who was left muttering in anger half the time. Bloody Anil Kumble. He only picked up his flippers.
I think it was a Robin Smith, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll try and find that article.
He could never play spin.
Yeah.
The judge was excellent against pace. I mean, come on, he batted against Malcolm Marshall, Curtly Ambrose, and Courtney Jones. What a helmet. Got hit on the jaw, chest. Tony Gregg himself used to say, I really fear for him. Why can't he wear it? But he couldn't wear it because he felt that his concentration was going. So that is why he batted, but he was very successful. Against Vaughan, Kumble, Murli and all, he was as amateurish as you can get.
And again,
very amateurish.
Exactly my point. So again, you don't need a lot to be a successful spinner. Again, another example, I mentioned Piyush Chawla. Someone like a Rashid also, his leggies don't turn. They don't turn a lot. He's a very subtle spinner of the ball. Even his googlies are subtle.
Yeah. But by the way, if you have to closely look at Shane Warne, the number of wickets he would get with a straight one were huge. He would just bowl same action, but that ball would go straight on.
That's the thing with Warne. No, that's what made him so genius, was because, see, he inspired fear once he got that Gatting wicket.
Oh.
Because that spun so much that every time people are playing for spin, he's hitting flippers. That's the order.
Deadly flipper.
It's like if a pacer who bowls 150, 160 can develop a competent slower ball.
Yeah.
You're always playing for the pace until
Exactly.
you're not.
I mean, Vaughan, absolute genius.
Yeah, he was, and the thing with him was just that his action. You could never. I watched his videos ad nauseum, and you could never read from his hand or even his action. Even his action was the same. Those 4 steps, and that's it.
Man.
And you could never read it.
Work of art.
Exactly. He made leg spin seem like art.
I mean, he had those 3 other things also. Dip, that drift, and
Pace.
revs.
The revs.
The revs
God,
were-
the revs. You
Which
watch
is
those
when he
balls.
extracted that massive turn as well, when he would get that perfect drift, plus the revs.
I read somewhere, I don't know if it may be misleading.
That's
but then
equal to Mike Gatting and
when that Mike
Strauss.
Gatting, yeah, when that Strauss dismissal happened, there were 11k revs on the ball.
11K seems a bit
11K?
much. No way.
No.
It was
Siddharth.
whizzing.
No,
I mean, it
not
was
11K.
exaggeration. I mean, I know, but you could hear the humming of the ball also.
So say that, na? 11K.
No, I mean, if you look at it, it was absolutely.
If
whizzing.
there were 100 revs on it, I'd be surprised. We're gonna get 22 yards. In
Yeah.
that
No,
match.
but then that flight
Even
ripped.
that.
Still not 11K.
But he got
11K
the drift.
is
That
a-
drift
Yeah.
ensured that. I remember even after he retired from the game, he was bowling to Nasir Hussain. He bowled him
One of
between
those
his legs.
sky things.
Yeah, that Sky tutorial. Masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece in leg spin bowling. And freaking awesome. Sundar may not be an ideal choice for longer formats, but he fits well in T20s as he's injury prone. Yeah, he does. And by the way, yeah, cyclone is heading towards Andhra and heavy rain is lashing out in Tamil Nadu and Andhra.
I think that's why you were getting a bit of a drizzle outside also. by the way. You
There
are
is-
actually getting a wee bit of a drizzle
Oh,
outside.
There is
yes,
some.
yes. I mean, it is category, I mean, if they say in the hurricane season's category 3 or 4. So it is not looking good for Andhra Pradesh. We hope that they stay safe there. And Tamil Nadu, as I said, December, January, it is cyclone season there.
Right, now time for the toughest question of the day. No predictions.
Since this is a series, and looking at the tacky wicket, 190. I would have said 220, 230 for Bengaluru. But I'm saying 190 and India winning it.
I'd say 188. Okay, I'll make it 187 actually. And India winning.
205, but I think Australia chased it down.
Ah.
Australia chasing it down. Okay.
I really don't trust
See, look
this
at this. Look at this pitch here. Damn.
bowling.
That's why I said 190. If it was a typical Bangalore road, I would have said 230, 240. But yeah,
It looks slightly sluggish, but I think the Indian batters will still be able to extract enough runs.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
And okay, there isn't that much of. I mean, there is a fair bit of crowd, but not that much. You can see some empty seats at the Chinnaswamy.
I mean, to be fair, Bangalore did get a lot of World Cup games. A
5.
lot. Yeah.
5.
India and Netherlands was the only game that India featured in.
Yeah.
Australia, Pakistan.
Australia played
New
that.
Zealand, Sri Lanka. New Zealand, Pakistan.
So they got some good games.
And which was the other one? England, Sri Lanka. 5. Those were your 5 games, so that's why. Okay, so Shreyansh Puripati is actually disagreeing with you, but we'll come to that a bit later. He said
Anyhow.
that SRH had a constant squad after David Vaughan and Tom Moody gone.
Actually, true. I think they had some kind of a vision, Moody, Warner, but once they went, yeah, things just kind of.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So we'll be back for the mid innings. We hope that there is no rain. That's the worst thing because remember it
Please,
is in that area.
no, let there be no rain.
Yeah, so we'll be back for the mid innings. Let's see how India posts. From me, Harshit, and Shane, it's bye bye. See you soon.